Hello. For today's practice, we will really be working head, neck, shoulders, creating space there. You will want one block, maybe two if you have two, but one should be good. And then potentially a towel or a belt. We'll be using that to kind of do some stretching behind our back. So grab your things and meet me on the floor, mat, wherever you'll be. We will get started today with our practice for head and neck release. So we will start lying on our backs and bring feet nice and wide to the edge of your mat. Arms out comfortably wide, but not like super high, so shoulders can be relaxed. And just gently windshield wiper knees back and forth here. Nice and slow, pausing and just noticing how the low back is feeling, how inner and outer hips are feeling, any tightness. Just noticing, because we'll be hitting some of those areas today. Awesome. Next time knees are up to center, go ahead and hug them in and massage the low back here. Yes. You can rock side to side, a little like in circles, just play around and notice, get curious about what spots can you reach and how can you kind of massage them there. And then bring feet to the mat, knees in the air, arms out to your side once more. Lift up your hips, lift up your butt a little, shift it over to the left, and drop knees to the right here. If it doesn't feel comfortable, come out of it, go back into it, maybe with feet down toward the bottom of the mat a little more, feet away from your head. Yeah, awesome. And then you're going to turn your head the opposite direction of your knees here, if that feels okay. And then you're going to inhale, bring head back up to center, staring at the ceiling. Exhale, turn it over opposite direction of your knees. And just continue that with your breath, your own time. Just a little slow movement here. So this traction, moving back and forth, can just kind of release that fascia, myofascial release. And then bring knees back up to center, shift hips back to center. Take a breath here. And then shift hips over to the right, knees to the left. Gaze turns to the right if that feels okay. Inhale, head up to center. Exhale, look over to the right, opposite direction of the knees. And just continue this gentle noticing. Awesome. Back up to center, shift hips, knees up to center, hips back to center. Bring arms down alongside of you. Feet are about hip distance apart, couple inches from your bottom. Shoulders gently feel like collarbone opens and shoulders go toward the ground a little. Just gently, palms at your side. Inhale, lift hips up. Exhale, bring them down. This time you're going to inhale, lift hips and also right arm up ahead. Tuck chin so you're lengthening the back of the neck. Exhale, sweep arms down, bring hips down. Same thing, inhale, lift hips, lift arm. Exhale, bring it down. Awesome. This time you're going to look over to your left. Inhale, lift hips, bring arm up. And then exhale as you bring arms down, slowly bring head back to center. Yeah, there's a lot going on, so don't worry if your brain is like just trying to process that all. Turn head over to the left, inhale, lift hips, bring arm up. Exhale, lower arms, hips, and bring head back to center slowly. Do that 2 more times here. And just play around. You won't feel a whole lot yet. Like we're kind of in some subtle work, just kind of warming stuff up. So don't force anything. We'll get there. We're just warming up this space where we hold so much. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll inhale, we'll turn our head to the right. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, lower hips and arm, bring head back to center. And just continue getting curious. Tucking chin a little bit to lengthen the back of the neck. No worries if you're like, Christy, my brain isn't processing this. Just find a way to make it okay and don't judge yourself. Body awareness is not something like we really have in the way we live our world, so don't worry. Okay, finish this one up. Hug those knees in once more. Maybe shake head back and forth a little. And then either roll on the side to come up to seated or start to rock the length of your mat to come up to seated here. Yeah, just kind of wiggle out torso a little bit here. Just kind of noticing low back, moving back and forth a little bit. Awesome. From here, we're going to move on to hands and knees. So on hands and knees here, check that knees are below hips. Elbows, wrists, shoulders lined up, and gently press away from the mat. Inhale, chest forward, head up. Just feel that stretch there. Exhale, start to round, arch your back, but really let your head hang, even tucking chin. Lengthening back of the neck. And just continue this. Really bringing awareness to the head and neck. Exhale, tuck chin, press away, separating shoulder blades a little here. We'll do one more. Awesome. Come back to sit on your feet, forehead toward the mat for child's pose here. Inhale, come on to hands and knees. And we are going to make our way up to standing here. Yeah, give yourself a little breath. Sometimes you can be a little lightheaded, moving from seated to standing. Still with kind of some of that subtle work in our body. We might start to feel it a little more here, but we're warming up head and neck. We will get to
a little deeper stretching. Check that shoulders are just kind of relaxed. Maybe do a little shoulder circles here. Feet are about hip distance apart. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Shoulders up by ear, totally fine, just like relaxed. Don't worry about like plugging it in. And then we're going to bend knees a little bit. Exhale, start to fold forward. And when you get down, tuck that chin, let the head hang, and let that shoulder just hang, like gravity kind of do its thing. Inhale, come up. And you're actually going to come up into chair pose. So a little softness in the knees, scoot the hips back, and then come up to standing. Yeah. And then bend knees a little bit. Exhale, fold same arm. When you get down, really check with lengthening back of the neck. Start to tuck that chin. Let the head hang. Engage that core, so bring belly button towards spine. Inhale, rise up, but in chair pose. So butt is back a little bit, knees are bent. And then come up to standing. It's okay if shoulder is up by ear. We actually kind of want it there just for this stretch. Do that one more time. Exhale, fold forward. Bend knees a little bit. Tuck chin as you're folding. Let the head go. Let everything hang. Engage core, belly button towards spine. Start to rise up for chair pose here. And then come all the way up. Exhale, bring that arm down. So we're kind of releasing everything down our back, shoulder, down our back into low back to help give head and neck just a little more mobility. So we'll try it on the other side, and yes, it is subtle. You may be like, Christy, I'm not feeling a whole lot. We'll get into it a little more, and you'll notice by the end you will have more space here. So left arm reaches up. Shoulder can be a little high, just kind of relaxed here. Exhale, start to fold forward, bend at the knees a little bit, scoot the butt back as you fold forward. Tuck that chin, lengthen back and neck. Let the head hang. Inhale, rise up to chair pose, so scoot butt back, knees stay bent, torso rises a little, and then come up to standing. And then exhale, fold again. And just play around with getting to know your body. Bend at the knees, tuck the chin, lengthen the back of the neck. Let everything go. Inhale, rise up, chair pose, and then to standing. And just get curious, this isn't movement like we normally do in our day. It's really using a lot of our brain as well. And getting curious about how things feel. And then bring that arm down. Good job. Shoulders down, little shoulder circles. Grab your yoga block. I'm going to grab mine. I forgot to earlier. And your yoga block can come in the middle here. You're going to move into a wide leg forward fold. So feet can come a little wider than hip distance. Check in here, just kind of do a little moving hips back and forth. And just checking in with tightness, releasing a little here. We move so often in front of us, not side to side. So this can be helpful here. Awesome. Inhale, reach nice and tall here. Exhale, bend knees a little, start to fold forward. Let the head hang, tuck chin, back of the neck here. You can have hand on that block if you'd like. Put it, tall, medium, whatever feels good. Left hand is going to go on the block. Right arm is going to reach up behind you. Tuck chin, staring down at your block here.
Inhale, reach arm out in front of you and slowly move head so your eyes and chin are pointing up toward the hand. Exhale, look down and bring arm up in the air again. Kind of playing around. My shoulders aren't completely stacked, but play around with that idea. So you're kind of twisting to the right a little bit. Inhale, arm comes out in front of you. Follow it. Find your chin and eyes pointing at it. Exhale, head looks down, arm comes up behind you. Reaching up toward the sky as if both shoulders are stacked. Like I said, the idea of it. Mine does not get there. Inhale, reach out in front of you again. Look at that arm. Exhale, reach it up to the sky, but head looks down. Awesome. Bring right hand to the hip. Back to center a little bit instead of that twist. Left hand to the hip. Slowly rise up. Yes. I should have got a hair tie today. My hair is getting longer. So just playing around again. Subtle movements. Maybe you felt a little more there. There's a little more going on. Just check in with shoulders. Check in with head and neck. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, bend knees a little bit. Start to fold forward. Right hand goes to the block this time. Left arm reaches up behind you. A little bit like you're twisting toward the left, but hips stay square. So it's just your belly button that's like pointing to the left a little. Inhale, reach arm out in front of you. Turn that head, so chin and eyes pointing gently toward that hand. Just in the direction. Find a stretch that feels good. Exhale, look down at your hand. Bring left arm back up towards ceiling. And then continue that. Just playing around. And it's more about like what's going on. What do you feel in your neck, top of shoulder here? This movement can be kind of like a massage. You might feel like a dull ache. That's kind of getting into that fascia. It shouldn't be sharp pain. And then bring left hand to hip, back to center with your torso, right hand to hip. Slowly rise up. Take a breath here. Exhale everything out. Heel, toe, feet together. Check in with shoulders. Maybe you're feeling like, hey, I do have a little more space I'm starting to feel. Maybe you're like, what in the world are we doing? You're going to grab your block, bring left foot out in front of you, right foot behind you. And it's okay if feet are both pointing the same direction or back foot can be angled a little off to the side. The main thing is make sure that you have hip distance between your legs at least. The more distance between your legs, you just have a little more room for hips. Put that block in your left hand and you're going to reach forward out in front of you and then bring it down. So you should feel a stretch in your side body here. Hips are pointing forward, but again, belly button is kind of twisting over to the right a little bit. Yeah, and check that you are kind of lifting up out of that left side a tiny bit. It's okay to bend the front knee a little if you're like, ooh, Christy, this isn't for me, or adjust where that block is. Yeah, you got it. So right hand is going to come to your hip, but bring the back of the palm to the back of your hip, and then feel like this top shoulder, right shoulder, is reaching back a little bit. Just gently. Soften a little here. Head's going to look down at your hand at the block. Similar to what we did in the wide-legged forward fold, you're going to inhale, sweep your right hand that's on your hip up, over in front of you. Eyes and chin are going to follow it. Exhale, start to sweep it back, but head is going to look down at your hand on the block. Yeah, a lot with brain again. Belly button pointing toward the right a little bit. Soften that front knee so it's not locked. We don't want to lock our knees. Inhale, sweep arm up. Follow it with your head a little bit, eyes and chin. Exhale, sweep it back. Head looks down at the block. Tuck that chin, lengthen back and neck. And just continue getting curious and playing around with this motion. There's a lot going on. So don't wonder, am I doing it right? More just get curious about, what am I feeling doing this? What is going on, especially in head and neck? We'll do one more here. Awesome. Bend into that front knee. Start to rise up. Yes. Yeah. So we have left foot out in front of us. Now you can bring feet back together, heel toe them if you want. And this time we'll bring right foot out in front. So that's kind of cool because, you know, a lot of time if you have shoulder stuff, hip stuff, knee stuff, you don't always know where it originates. Like they're all super connected, even up to your jaw. So that's kind of working a lot of things all at once down that path. Okay, so again, this time right foot is out in front. Make sure your feet have at least hip distance, if not a little extra. Have that block in your right hand. Reach forward, set it down. Yeah, and maybe if you're like me, you're like, ooh, our QLs right here, like this low back side stuff. Feel a little stretch there. Soften that knee a tiny bit. So that leg is still strong in the front leg, but it's just softened a little bit so we're not locking the knee. Find where you want your hand to go. Left hand, back of palm, comes to back of hip. This top shoulder, instead of having it sink down toward the floor, it's going to pull up toward the ceiling, back behind you a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of, that's the feeling, the direction. And then like your belly button wants to twist to the left a little bit, but hips are still pointing forward. I mean, they're a little open, but like the idea of it, okay? And then look down at that hand on the block. Tuck, chin lengthen, back and neck. Inhale, start to sweep that top arm out in front of you. Eyes and chin meet it. Exhale, start to sweep it back and look down at your block. Again, belly button going toward the left. Top shoulder, arm reaching up and back a little. Just gently soften, like we really want to soften, just the idea. And then continue. Inhale, reach it out in front, chin and eye follow. Exhale, sweep it back. Look down at your block and just continue this. Getting curious, it might be different on this side. Let me tell you, my dull ache is definitely a little more achy on this side than the other. So just play around with that. I have some TMJ issues, and this gets into that TMJ area for me as well. I'll do one more here. Awesome. Bend into that front knee, hand maybe to the front thigh, start to rise up. Heel toe feet together. You can get that block out of your way. Oh, inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, sweep them down. Little shoulder circles here, just kind of noticing. Again, you may have some dull aches. Next thing we are going to grab, and you can have a seat, and you're going to grab your towel, belt, strap if you have a strap, whatever you have. We're going to do one final little stretch of our arms here. So if you have a towel, whatever you have, here's how this is going to go. In your right hand, grab
that towel or whatever, bring arm up and behind you and hold on to the top of towel, belt, strap, whatever you have. Okay, check that that shoulder is kind of just down a little, and the elbow, instead of coming forward, is kind of moving back. So we're opening up this chest space, creating stuff here. Left hand is going to come behind you, elbow bent, reach up to grab towel or strap. Not holding on with all your might, but just holding on to have that stretch. Your left elbow is going to move back away from you as well. So both elbows are moving back behind you, but check that you're not arching your low back. So your back is still straight. You're sitting up nice and tall, not arching there, but that chest is open. Inhale. Feel that stretch back, chest, wherever you feel it. Exhale, release. If anything feels like, ooh, pain, like release a little. Like we're not holding on for dear life here. Check shoulders, come down away from ears, elbows open, moving back, or even just a thought, not back, but like out to opposite directions, out to the side a little. And breathe. Notice your thoughts, because I'll tell you what my thoughts are saying. This is horrible. Why are we staying here? What does this do? Yes. And just notice, not getting carried away in their stories. Okay, go ahead, release. Check in, maybe a little neck circles or whatever. If you have a lot going on in this area, that like little thing can be so intense. When you're ready, we'll move to the other side. So you'll grab top of whatever it is you're using with the left hand. Yeah, bend that elbow. Right hand will reach up, elbow bent toward the strap or whatever it is. Yeah, shoulders down a little, and then soften, elbows away or feeling like they're pulling in opposite directions a tiny bit. Just open that front body. And then where can you soften? Sit nice and tall. Check in that you're not arching from your low back. You'll feel some core engaged here. And then soften and breathe. And just soften where you can. Your brain might be like, Christy, there is no softening here. That's okay. With each exhale, maybe you feel just a little more space. Inhale, filling that air. Stretching out those spots. Exhale, release. Noticing thoughts. And just getting curious about your body. Where can I soften? Can I bring shoulders down a little more that I've been in this a little longer? Just noticing. And then go ahead. Let go. Oh, kind of move head, neck a little bit here. And then go ahead, lie down on your back, moving everything out of your way so you have space. Space to be. Option to have a pillow or a bolster under your knees. And just lay down, arms out at your sides. Shoulders, maybe melt down toward your feet a little more. Soften the jaw, maybe slowly turn head back and forth and then find stillness. Let yourself feel a little heavy. Let your breath just be. Give yourself time to enjoy the stillness, even if your brain is telling you you have things to do and you can't be here. Know that that just means you're human. There's nothing wrong with that, especially when we're doing a practice at home. It's harder, so just notice and see if you can get yourself to just stay a little longer. It's your home practice, so if you want to stay here, feel free. You know what, actually we will stay here. Stay here as long as you'd like. And just take a moment to bring to mind something you are grateful for today. Bring a smile to your face. Option to stay longer, or if you want to get up, just slowly make your way up. Be conscious of how often and quickly we move from one thing to the next, and take a little time to enjoy the pause, to slowly notice, to become aware of your body, and enjoy your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.